I thought today I would do a video that is much needed. I'm sure all of you are suffering in this heat. Some of you are probably sun worshippers and love it. I personally am a winter girl, and this heat is too much for me to bear, especially being pregnant. That just makes it 10 times worse. So I thought I would just share with you 6 tips of mine to help cope with the summer heat. So tip number 1 is stating the obvious, I know, and you've probably heard it a million times and are going to be really fed up to hear it this time around, but drink your water. It is so important to stay hydrated. I don't particularly love water myself. I like flavoured water, but even I'm drinking plain water with ice in it. Perfect. If you don't like water, you can drink juice, because obviously you still have that much water content in it, but just make sure that you drink so much. Keep your fluids up throughout the day, constantly top up and drink. If it helps, carry a drink around with you. I've got my bottle that I take with me everywhere, and it's always full, and even if it gets a bit warm, I just tip it out, I can replace it. But this is my reminder to make sure I'm constantly drinking water, staying hydrated, keeping myself from feeling sick and getting headaches, and it's very important. Tip number 2 is don't do too much. Sometimes we can do things and we think we've got this and that and it must be done and it's so important, and we overdo it and we forget that we do need time to rest as well. So make sure that you're not doing too much, because in this heat it will really take it out of you and you'll end up feeling unwell, and then you won't be well enough for the next day to do anything. So just make sure that you take it slow, don't do too much, just do the basics and keep yourself rested and cooled down. Tip number 3 is invest in a fan. I don't know if you can hear my fan in the background, but I would not go without it. If this fan broke on me tonight at 2 in the morning, I'd be out at the 24-hour store buying myself another one, because I could not live without my fan. I have it on all day and all night, so I do spend a lot of time in the bedroom where the fan is, or I have to move it around where I go, but even when we are sleeping, the fan is on us, and it's just a lifesaver for us. It gets us through the night, and it is just, when you're really hot, to stand in front of a cool fan is definitely a lifesaver. So really, I do recommend investing in a fan. They're not that much money. I think you can get them for like between £10 and £20 in just your local supermarket, so just make sure you go get one. Tip number 4 is don't underestimate the power of a manual fan. These fans, okay, some of them are very lacy and they look a bit old, fuddy-duddy, frilly. I mean, you didn't hear that from me, because I don't care. I think this is really amazing what it does. But I would not go anywhere without my fan. I take these wherever I go. I have different colours for different outfits, and it just makes such a difference. Like, that cool breeze, it's just, yeah, it's amazing. So make sure you get yourself a fan. You can get these super cheap. I mean, if you're going on holiday, invest, get a few, and these make great gifts as well. But otherwise, I'm sure you can find them like online. Amazon do paper versions. People give them out at weddings or parties. But definitely, these are amazing, and I take mine everywhere, and it just keeps me cool, and it's just so, it does make a difference when you're sitting there feeling hot and it's unbearable just to whip out the fan. No. Tip number 5 might sound odd to you, but it's to eat. Because I think in this heat, all we think about is water and drinking. We're so thirsty, we could drink gallons and gallons and gallons. And we think maybe food isn't as important as long as we keep hydrated. Maybe we're not as hungry because we're so hot, all we are wanting is fluids. But you need to eat, because it will give you the nutrients that your body needs, and it will give you the energy that your body needs. In this heat, the sun will really sap you of your energy, and you're going to feel really lethargic and tired and not wanting to do anything, but you will need to have the energy to keep yourself from feeling that low. And you certainly don't want to be fainting, because with this heat and the fainting and, you know, big disaster. So make sure that you do eat your regular meals and snack throughout the day if you need to, but you do really need to rely on that energy in this kind of way. And finally, tip number 6, if you are lucky enough to own a paddling pool or know somebody who does, go and get in it. Seriously, once your feet are cool, your whole body cools down. It's amazing. The last couple of days have been absolutely unbearable for me, and I've been dripping with sweat, and I've got myself into the cold paddling pool, and I could actually sit in the sun most of the day, and it was bearable because my feet were cool. It was bringing my whole temperature down, and my body was cool, and I was just splashing my skin with the water, and it was so refreshing. So I definitely advise to do that. If you don't have one, run a cool bath and just sit on the edge with your feet in, or get a bucket of ice cold water. But that is one powerful tip, I can tell you now. So many people have said to me, if you're really hot, put your feet in an ice bucket of water. And I'm like, okay. But it does work. It really does, and it's an absolute dream in this weather. So don't think it's just your feet in cold water and it's not going to be very nice, because it's absolutely, it's actually, yeah, love it. And as a side note, you're never too old for ice lollies, so go buy yourselves an ice lolly, treat your kids to an ice cream as well, and then they'll think you're the best mum ever. But yeah, on the whole, those are my tips to keep cool. Those are things that I'm doing all the time. I'm making sure I'm getting my rest, I'm drinking my water, I'm eating my meals, I'm cooling down in paddling pools, I carry my fan, I've got my fan on throughout the night. I can tell you now, I wouldn't be able to cope without any of these things. So just make sure that you take my advice. And if you do take my advice, let me know in the comments below. It'd be really interesting to know who's gone out there and listened to me. And if you know any other ways to keep yourself cool in this weather, then just leave them in the comments below also, because I love it when we all share tips with each other. So thanks everyone for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up, and don't forget, stay cool.